Hello guys, how are we doing? It has been a while since I have sat down in this room in my bedroom with my makeup in front of me and actually filmed a get ready with me, so I'm so excited for this video. It's actually quite early, it's 2:30 and I'm not going out until about like 6:30, 7, which I know is so early, but do you ever have those days where you're just like in the mood to like really enjoy getting ready and like really take your time? Like I've done my hair, I'll probably make like a glass of wine or something halfway through. I'm gonna take some cute pictures after, like try some different outfits on, like all of that kind of vibe. So yeah, I'm really excited. I thought I would film this because I've honestly missed filming like chatty, like night out get ready with me's so much. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do like a soft glam, what is new? But I'm gonna try and make an effort to use as many like drugstore products as I can in this video. So I've already gone ahead and done my brows. I've tried to do a little bit more of like a feathery brow than what I would usually do. I was kind of in the mood to just have like a little bit more of like a naturalish looking brow. Not that it looks like that natural, but I didn't really fill in like a ton of the brow. I just kind of did the tail, used some concealer. So in terms of products, I used my Urban Decay brow beater, which I've literally like run out of at this point, like I need to get a new one, but this is in the shade Neutral Brown. And then prime the eyes with my Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Almond, which is one of my favorites ever. I love how I've just said that I'm using mostly drugstore products and the first two products I mentioned are not drugstore. So in terms of palettes, this is drugstore. So I'm going to be using the NYX Swear By It palette. I've only used this a couple of times and I don't know why I don't use it more because I absolutely love it. So I think if I can open it, I think I'm going to use some of these like more neutral tones like around here. Somewhere in that region. None of my brushes are clean. Story of my life, like I've needed to clean these brushes for like 2 weeks at this point and still haven't done it, so great, don't mind that. Maybe I'll start with this shade here, which is a little bit more orangey. Okay, so I'm just using a Zoeva blending brush and I'm gonna start on the outer corner and just like slowly bring that in. These shadows, by the way, are so good. NYX shadows in general are really good. If you ever want like a good palette that's like on a budget, 10 out of 10 recommend NYX, because obviously when I did my makeup video the other day that was like testing expensive brands, I know a lot of you guys were like, oh, like I really love this, but like I would never spend the money on these products, which I totally understand. And if I was to recommend like one brand for like that will give you like a similar quality to say like Natasha Denona or whatever, it would be NYX. I'm really like digging into my eye here. Whenever I do like the first shade, I really just like go in and just make sure it's like fully down. I think I'm gonna use this shade and I'm just gonna kind of tuck that in to the outer corner. Just kind of do like circular motions and then just really gently kind of like wing this out a little bit. I don't know why I've started doing like everything on this eye. I would never usually do that. I'd usually do like both at the same time, but I've kind of just got carried away. I think I'm gonna mix like these two together, these like lighter shades, and just kind of like use those to blend out that first section because I really don't want the inner corner to be like too heavy. I'm gonna use a little bit more of that darker shade, kind of like smudge this on the lash line. So using the bigger brush, kind of just like buff this out. Just like I'm holding it right at the end and just doing like really like quick light motions. I might actually take a little bit of the lighter shades from before as well, just to kind of like blend over that and kind of blur it together a bit more. I'm gonna start working on this side because I feel like this side is getting a little bit left out over here. I always find that eyeshadow never likes to kind of adhere to my eye there. Adhere, is that the right word? You know what I mean? Like it kind of skips over that part of the skin, so I kind of just sometimes take extra like product on the brush and just pat it down. I'm still desperate to get my microblading removed. If anyone has anywhere in Manchester that they can recommend for like semi-permanent face tattoo removal, like microblading removal, please let me know because honestly I cannot find anywhere at the minute. Okay, I'm gonna use some of this shade just to deepen up the lashes and outer corner. Honestly, this microblading actually winds me up so bad. Like, can you see where my eyeshadow looks choppy? It's because my skin is like scarred from the microblading. Honestly, if I could go back in time and not get that done, I honestly would. I'm gonna do like a smoky wing. So I'm gonna use that dark brown shade again, and then also maybe a little bit of the black up here. I don't really want it to look like super obvious that I've drawn a wing on, so I'm trying to just like kind of sketch it on, but also blend it into the shadow a little bit, so it just looks like my lash line is a little bit more defined than what it actually is, if that makes sense. And then I think I want to use a little bit of my Jordana Base and Sparkle. This is in the shade Iconic. Jordana is really affordable and a really amazing brand, so 10 out of 10 recommend. They're basically, these little eye pots come with a sparkle and also a base. So there's like a cream base on top, which I don't know whether to use like a little bit of that, and then I'm gonna use the actual sparkle. So pretty. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put some lashes on. I haven't actually decided what lashes I'm gonna do yet, so I'm gonna go and decide, pop them on, and I will come back and show you. Okay, we are back. I actually took quite a long break there. I went down, made a bagel, made my mum some lunch, tidied up the kitchen a bit, got a gin and tonic, washed my hands, got my spongeware, and we're back. And obviously put my lashes on as well. You know what, I was gonna try like a different style of lash, but I actually just cannot stray away from Rodeo Drives from Backstage Beauty, my favorite lash of all time. You can get 10% off Backstage Beauty with the code HANXRenee10. I'll put it on the screen here. I'm not sponsored by them, but I do get commission if you guys ever order from them and use my code, so I really appreciate you doing that. I'm gonna do a little bit of moisturizer. I've just been using the Embryolisse. Still don't know if I'm saying that right, like honestly I have no idea, but this is the cream concentrate thing. Because my skin has been kind of breaking out a little bit because I've come off my pill, I'm trying to just do a really simple skincare routine, which if you want to see my full skincare routine, I'll put it on the screen here. It was in the video last week where it was like a spend the day with me and Rach and Mads, and we went out day drinking. I did like my full skincare routine at the end of that video, if anyone wants to see. It's a really simple skincare routine, to be honest. Like, I'm trying to just use really like soothing like products that just don't really have like a lot of fragrance, or they're kind of more natural or whatever. So if you want to see what I'm doing, then feel free to go ahead, because touch wood, it's actually doing really well my skin, considering that I have come off the pill and I would usually be breaking out in 101 spots by now. And then for my primer, I'm going to use the NYX Bear With Me primer. It's kind of like, if I can open it, it's kind of like a jelly primer. Reminds me a lot of the Illamasqua like jelly primer. So obviously, as I have said, NYX is quite affordable. It's actually very affordable for the quality. And then we've got another NYX product. There's a lot of NYX today. I have to say, if I'm gonna recommend like a good affordable drugstore brand, it is NYX. Like, the quality is 10 out of 10. They're cruelty free, so I can use them, which is amazing, and they just do like such a good range of products. So this is the NYX Born to Glow foundation. This one is in the shade Beige. I am actually gonna mix it with my Charlotte Tilbury foundation as well, just because this shade is a little bit too dark and a little bit too like olive for me, I would say. So this shade is a little bit better in the Charlotte Tilbury. Finally, as well, got a new beauty blender. If anyone's been watching my Spend the Days with me, you will know I lost my last one. I don't know what it is about gin, but it makes me so gassy. Not that anyone asked, but still. I've really been enjoying using a beauty blender for foundation at the minute. I just think it like applies really soft and like not too heavy, if you know what I'm saying. I mean, can you just see like how kind of flawless but still skin looking those foundations mixed together are. Okay, and then I'm going to do a tiny bit of cream bronzer, again using the NYX Born to Glow concealer. This is in the shade Cappuccino. I don't really need a lot of this because my foundation's already a bit too dark. I'm just going to kind of use it as like a base for bronzer. And I'm just going to use an Hourglass brush. This is kind of just like a mini angled foundation brush, just to press that in. I'm going to do concealer next, so I'm just going to use my Born This Way from Too Faced in the shade Almond. Feels so weird using like a fresh sponge. don't think I've had a new sponge in like the longest time. And then I'm just going to use this under the bronzer a bit as well, just to help lighten up the foundation a little bit, because it is a little bit too dark for the tan that I've got on. Okay, and then I'm going to use Laura Mercier setting powder. I never used to like this powder. You guys will know I was obsessed with the YSL powder, but obviously I can't use that anymore because it's not cruelty free. And I didn't used to like this powder very much, but maybe like my skin's just adjusted to it, or because of how I use it now it's better. But I just take a little puff. This is the Tati Beauty Puff. It's like the baby like heart one. You could also use a sponge. I'm not going to use a sponge just because I don't know, I don't like the buildup of powder and concealer on a sponge. Like even when you wash it, I feel like it's just not quite the same. I'm just going to kind of take some and dab it in the powder like so, and literally just like press that under the eye and then down to the smile lines, and then with whatever's left I just like kind of blend it out and buff it in. Do the top lip a little bit, and you'll be able to see like the difference from this side to that side. Like this side is now like flawless, like you cannot see my pores, everything is set down, but it's not like so set down that I look like I'm like glued into place. Like honestly, this is like up close and personal now. I feel like it just smooths out your under eye, smooths all the pores, like all of these pores that you can probably kind of see a little bit where I've not set it down. You literally cannot see this side. Onto bronzer, I'm going to use some Fenty bronzer. This is the shade Shady Biz. So I'm just going to use a big fluffy brush. Not going to use a ton. I'm kind of just going to use this to like set down obviously the cream bronzer that we had in place. But the reason I do like to use cream bronzer is I feel like it just increases like the longevity of your makeup and your bronzer and things. Okay, and then I'm going to use the NYX High Glass Highlighter. I've not used this in a while and I've kind of forgot as to like if I like it or not. So I thought we would like give this a go. It's kind of an interesting formula. It's really pretty on the skin because it's almost like a cream. Like it feels like a cream, but it kind of applies like a powder. But I guess in that sense it probably lasts really well as well. And then I am going to pair a little bit of the Milk Makeup. This is the Flex highlighter in Iced. I'm just going to pair a little bit of that on top. Did you just hear that? I don't know if the camera will have picked that up. That was my stomach. Oh my god, am I okay? I mean, that is something, isn't it? Just realised I forgot to contour my nose, so let's get right onto that. You guys have seen me contour my nose like so many times, but I basically just do the bridge of the nose each side, and I don't take it all the way down. I'm just gonna do kind of like there, and then I always connect it in here, just because it'll make your nose contour look a lot more natural if you connect it up here. Otherwise it's kind of just like this line that goes nowhere. Do the same this side. I'm using a Makeup Forever brush. Makeup Forever isn't cruelty free, but I've had this brush for the longest time and there was no point binning it for the sake of like having something cruelty free. I also really like a Sigma E25, like something that's thin and tapered but fluffy is what I like for nose contour, just so that you can get that definition but it doesn't like end up looking too harsh. It'll still buff it out. Underneath is like my favorite part because that's kind of what gives you that more like button nose effect. So I kind of like do like a straight line. It just kind of depends like what your nose is shaped like, but I kind of do like a straight line across here and then down the nostrils. And then I just take whatever's left on my highlight brush and just run that down like so. So we've got a little bit of shine, but nothing crazy. Okay, and then I don't actually have any like drugstore blushes here, so I'm just gonna use the Kat Von D blush. This is in the shade Honeysuckle. It's actually KVD Beauty now, if anyone doesn't know. Kat Von D sold the brand, so she doesn't have any involvement in the brand at all anymore. And they are cruelty free and vegan, which is amazing. So I think I'm gonna do like a testing video soon maybe on some Kat Von D KVD beauty products. I feel like I could probably get away without doing my lower lash line today because I don't usually do my lower lash line, to be honest. But I am going to do Yeah, I am going to do a little bit just because it's quite a heavy eye not to have anything on the lower lash line. So I'm just going to take a small fluffy brush and basically just all the shades that we used before, which were these two. And I'm just going to run them on the lash line. I always start on the outer corner just because, just like we've got the same amount of pigmentation on the outer lid of the eye and the outer crease, like that's kind of what we want to replicate and like mirror down. Okay, and then all we have left to do is lips. So for lips, I'm going to use one of my favorite drugstore cruelty-free lip liners. This is the Sleek Locked Up Super Precise Lip Liner. I'll link everything down below as I said. And then for lipstick, I'm going to use the Smashbox Balance Lipstick. This is quite a new release, I think. I think it was part of the Hailey Bieber collection. And then I've got a drugstore lip topper from Revolution in the shade Luxurious, which is just like a really beautiful gold colour. So I'm going to pop all of those on now. Okay, so this is the finished makeup. I've just like doused myself in setting spray, which is why I might look a little bit glossy. But yeah, I really hope you guys like this makeup. Let me know what other makeup videos you would like me to film down below because I would love to know. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish getting ready. I love you guys as always, and I will see you in the next one.